It is freezing. What is the world coming to? Right, hello, welcome to, oh my gosh, you're zoomed in on my face. Welcome to the vlog. Hopefully my camera's working, you know, because I have dropped it again. It's becoming a habit now where I drop my camera and the lens is quite, what's the word? Not flaccid, that's a terrible word, Alex. Well, yeah, it's not ideal really. What is going on? Work. There we go. And it wiggles around. But what is the point of me telling you all of this? None really, because it doesn't change anything, doesn't change your lives. But today's vlog, so thank you for tuning back in and watching my face. Today's vlog is going to be a training vlog. So I'm going to be talking you through my specialization block that I'm in at the moment. So a specialization block is basically a block of training where you prioritize certain muscle groups. Most of us will have probably done this like naturally over periods of training where we think, right, we need to grow our arms, we do a little bit more arms. But the key with a specialization block is that you are being very deliberate in the fact that you are doing it and you are programming for it. So I am driving up volume in areas that I know I need to improve in terms of my physique development. And therefore I'll hopefully bring about an adaptive response that will be more muscle mass overall. So the areas that I'm looking to bring up are my lats, my arms and my chest at the moment. So therefore I have an upper body day where I have put in some more volume, total volume across the week, and I have a higher frequency at the moment. So my current training split is push, pull, off, shoulders and arms, legs, off, push, pull and repeat. So it is over 2 rotations, and what will happen is in this training program and in this specialization structure, I will follow a volume escalation approach. So at the start of my training block, I do kind of a baseline or just above baseline volume. So for me, that's kind of around 2 sets. And within those 2 sets, I go to absolute mechanical failure and I progress that through the training block until I realistically can't progress what I lift anymore, until I hit that wall or that ceiling where my performance is limited, and then I escalate volume. So I will add a set to body parts that I know I need to bring up. So for example, I will add more volume to my lat work, I will add more volume to my arm work, and this way I can like linearly progress my volume and specialize my training so that I actually develop my physique. So that's the outline for today's video. So I'm going to jump now over to a voiceover of that's one of my specialization days. So this is my upper body training program where I focus on shoulders, I focus on chest, back and arms mainly, but there is some shoulder overhead pressing in there. But yes, join me, enjoy the video. Thank you for watching, see you in a minute.
Le has dicho a todo el mundo que quieres estar solo, pero sabes que es mentira. El problema es que solo quieres estar con una persona y no está contigo.
Hello then you beautiful people, so welcome to the voiceover of this boring vlog. And I say boring because it's getting to that stage of my off season now where I'm just doing the same things, still on the same training program that I've probably documented it before, but this is really the point where progress is made, where you make progress in the same things that people have done forever. So this is my specialization day. So we start the day with a crucifix lateral raise. So as you can see here, I'm getting a good amount of kind of lateral deltoid activation and I'm getting some external rotation at the top. So I enjoy this movement because it allows me to get those lateral delts like really short. And I do this at the start of the session before any other shoulder work, because I have found that this doesn't necessarily take away from any of my pressing movements, even my shoulder overhead pressing. So why not get a good amount of high quality work through those lateral deltoids? Because realistically, anyone who's got on stage has never been like marked down for having really round shoulders, and by hitting them when you're fresh, you can get as much kind of contractile force from them, because we do know that as you progress through a training session, your ability to get a muscle short, because you use up the ability to recruit enough motor units to get that muscle short, actually diminishes. So that's why I put that first in my specialization day. So next is a new movement. So I have a feet up incline pin press. So the reason I am doing an incline pin press is I've recently, since prep, reset all of my pressing. So to reset it, I have made sure that my feet are off the floor. I've made sure that my back arch isn't ridiculous, and I'm also, where possible, pressing from like a static position. So as you can see here, I am stopping and dead stopping on the pins. And the reason for this is by moving a weight, we can often make it lighter or heavier. So by making sure the weight stops, I know that I am creating all of the force, and I can concentrate on my execution to drive my upper arm across my chest, and actually use my chest, because what I found before, I'd arch my back so much, I'll be using different movements. Next we have our overhead pressing movement. So here you can see again I've reset this press, so my feet are raised on a box, because this stops me arching ridiculously and basically turning this into a chest press. I'm using the kind of neutral handles because I find it's better for me, although it does create some kind of elbow flaring. I don't really know how to get around that just yet, but if I go on the wide kind of handles, I find that it is too harsh on my shoulders itself. So that was my main overhead pressing movement. I would do 2 sets there. So next up we have a chest supported dumbbell lateral raise. So I do acknowledge that both of these exercises are focusing on getting the deltoid short, which probably isn't quote unquote optimal. However, I find so far it is good. I can recover from it, and I do like, for some reason, I do just connect really, really well with dumbbells. I don't know why. It's probably because you feel most of the load when the lateral head is short, but I get a good contraction, and sometimes you do need to let your kind of internal stimulus dictate what you have in your training program. So next up we have a chest supported straight arm pull down, and the reason for this is that my lats are a weak body part, so that is why I have some extra lat volume in there along with my chest. And this is a really good movement to kind of target the lats, get them through their lengthened, mid and shortened range. As I'm only doing one lat exercise today, this is my exercise that I choose. Gets it for a good contractile range. Ideally, I'd probably want the bench a little bit closer, because you can see I'm not necessarily fully lengthening that lat. This is probably more challenging the mid-range to shorten range. However, again, good contraction. And this was my first time actually adding this into this training day, because before that I did not have a straight arm pull down. So next we have some reversed cuff flies. Again, 2 sets here. This is just a staple. I don't necessarily do this always on my pull days, because I prioritize other work. Like I prioritize the bicep volume on my pull days. However, that's why I have a specialization day, so I can do any top-up volume that I need to do. Again, cable slightly higher than where your shoulders are. I like to keep my palms facing down and really focusing on just flying out as wide as I can, because the minute you start bending your arm and rowing, you very quickly start to incorporate a lot of trap. And you'll be amazed how much your traps actually do kick in if you let your form change too much. So I just think try and keep my arms as straight as possible within reason, and get my elbows back to the wall behind me, and that really helps me kind of reduce not any, but as much as I can, the impact of other muscles in my upper back. So next up we have some bicep volume. So preacher curl to start, so 3 sets here, through different rep ranges. I do acknowledge here that it looks like I have a pot belly. I can confirm that I do not have a pot belly, it's just the jumper. But yes, here we're trying to get the bicep short. Notice here in my form, my elbow does come off the pad a little bit, and that's something I'm going to rectify in the next kind of training session. Biceps are something that I really struggle to connect with, so I do try and change things around, not change the exercises, but change my form and manipulate my positioning to try and get as much feeling or sensation in the biceps as I can. Because if you can't connect with a muscle, you really will struggle to contract it and grow it. And that's what I found. And realistically, I need to grow these noodles. So next up, we have the unilateral tricep extension. So I use the daisy chain here to lock me in position, and then I can push my elbow back into that daisy chain, and it gives me tons of stability. Just from years of training, I probably do have some shoulder instability, but by locking myself in with the daisy chain, literally that arm is not moving, and I can just concentrate on driving back and fully extending the tricep, which is something you want to do through your training. You want to focus on getting that tricep fully short, and I do think this is really helping me do so, because I'm literally, all I'm focusing on here is extending my arm. My elbow is barely moving, because if your elbow is moving look forwards and backwards, up and down during a tricep extension, you are moving around where that kind of load is, as opposed to just keeping it fully locked onto the tricep. But very happy that I found this movement. Next up, we have the unilateral cable curl. So again, 3 sets here, slightly higher arm volume at the moment, as we follow the volume escalation method, as I talked about at the start of the video. This is challenging the bicep through the lengthened range. So you can see I've got my right hand behind my back, and I'm just trying to touch my elbow, okay? And I kind of use that as a reference point, because sometimes I will kind of subconsciously let my elbow move forward, back and forth, and this will recruit more kind of anterior deltoid. It's not what we want. We want to be challenging the bicep through its length into mid-range. So by keeping that elbow locked, we will challenge the bicep more. So that is why I have my hand around my back. Really enjoy this movement. I do it single arm so I can align myself better with the machine, because I don't want any shearing of my elbows, because I do get tendonitis. So then next I have the overhead tricep extension. So I'm using a daisy chain for this. I actually stick my bum into the cable stack so I don't move. And again, my hand is just looped into the daisy chain. I'm just really focusing on trying to keep that elbow in the same place, and making sure that I am focusing on that lengthened range of the triceps range of motion. Almost sometimes pausing there just so I can feel it, and feel that I am working in that range, and then contracting all the way through the range of motion to full extension. I'm really weak through this range of motion. That's probably why my arms are quite small, but it's something that I am kind of putting a lot of time into through pressing and accessory work.
Ooh, transitions. Right, so that brings about the end of this very boring fitness vlog. And why do I call it boring? And I mean, to most people it is. It's just the day in, day out routine of consistently executing something towards a bigger plan. And the reality is, most of the time, like, it isn't boring to me, but it may seem boring. It's just the same things. It's the same workouts after every week. It's the same meals. And to me, that's what's really gonna like bring about the actual change in my physique. Like, if I do want to actually win a show at some point, like in my life, the changes need to happen, and they will only happen through consistency, time of doing stuff, and getting strong as hell, and directly addressing my weaknesses. Like, that's what I'm doing with this specialization day. I know that I have areas that I need to develop. I know that my physique isn't as good as it could be. So therefore, I'm directly addressing those issues. So yeah. That brings about the vlog. Like, again, like, if you have anything you want me to do or discuss, just let me know in the comments. You can check my last video up here. That was a full day of eating. And of course, like, if you've got to the end of the video, give me a subscribe. I really want to get to like 300 subscribers. That'll be like a big milestone for me. But other than that, like, thank you for watching this boring vlog. I hope it wasn't as boring as I thought it was, or as I perceive it to be making this video. But I'm gonna try and make some decent, fun content for you in the future, so stay tuned. But other than that, thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.